Hey guys, welcome back to Into Rethink. My name is Nick, and it's a special morning once again. We're going to be heading off shortly to go and visit Shakil and have a look at two of the tanks that he's got in his house. One will be a SPS tank and the other one will be an LPS, which he'll be sharing with us this morning. Once again, if you enjoy the videos, please just hit the subscribe button and become part of this channel. We really love having you on board. We've taken all the comments, the constructive comments that have come through about how we film, and we've put them into the best practice that we can to improve on what we're doing so far. And yeah, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us and enjoying the videos that we put out for you. So yeah, I'm going to be heading off shortly, and once we get to Shakil's house, we'll be going through the tank review. So thank you for watching and enjoy the video. Well guys, I've just arrived at Shakil's home, and we're here this morning to have a look at two awesome tanks. The one's going to be an SPS tank, the other one is an LPS tank, and what we'll be doing is we're going to be handing over to Shakil to give us a review of what he's done with the tanks and what's inside and what the monitoring and controlling systems are, and I'll do the filming. So before we head into that, I'm just going to ask Shakil to give us a quick background about what the tanks are all about, and then we'll head off and have a look at these beautiful tanks. Shakil, so yep, thank you for having us first and foremost. It's awesome to be able to visit you at your home, have a look at the tanks, and give us a quick background as to what tanks we're looking at.
Sure, thank you, Nick. So yeah, as you mentioned, I've got two tanks running in here, both Red Sea tanks. One is a 750 litre XXL, the latest model, dominant with the SPS on the display. And then a bit of customization we've got going in there. We have utilized some space to sort of convert it into a lagoon. And then I've got a secondary tank, which is again a Red Sea Max Series 250, which is based on Zoas, Softies and LPS. So yeah, basically
awesome.
That's what we've got.
Well, that's great. We're going to head off now and get straight into it. For the viewers, we've taken comments on board, and we'll get cracking with that today. So thank you for the time and spending and watching our video, and we'll head off and get stuck into it immediately. Thank you.
So we're going to look at the lightning in terms of what's on top of this reef, and we'll touch base on the flow as well. So lightning, I've always been a fan of liking the deep bluish look, even during the daytime. So I've got well, I had 5, but I've got 4 at the moment. Hydra 52s and 2 Hydra 26 HDs in the middle. So a total of 4, which gives it enough pump in terms of wattage. Good coverage. Not so much of that shimmer, but definitely that deep blue look throughout the day. Running on a sort of a 12-hour schedule of blues. A bit of ramp ups in the middle for 4 hours with whites and a few of the other color spectrums. Just gives the colors in the light spectrum that the corals need. But other than that, yeah, I've always been a fan of hydras, and from day one I've been running the hydras. It's good. Corals are well adapted to it. I mean, that's the other thing about lightning. The more you change over, it takes them a while to come back to balance themselves out under the light. But yeah, that's all about lights. They're sitting about a foot over the water level. Gives it enough spread to the ends to cover the entire 1.8 meter length for this tank. In terms of flow, again, very simple. I've invested in looking at the Ecotech MB40s and 60s. So just on this spearing side, we've got a MB60 quiet drive running. It's about at reef crest mode. Just doing the tumbling effect, enough water flow in there for the acros. They need that water to go through, it just they need to move. So that's that MB60 on the left hand side, just pushing the flow through. And then I've got 2 MB40 quiet drives on this right hand side, and I've got them on sort of a pulse in a random flow mode again. and it's again giving that turbulent flow, which kind of brings in a lot of mixture in the middle. So it's kind of a washing machine, but it gives enough upward flow within the tank where the acros are placed. So yeah, that sort of sums up the sort of flow I've got, and of course it just adds on with what the retain pump is throwing back into the system, so it gives you a bit more mix in there with flow. So yeah, well, welcome back to my 750 liter, and this is our sump. And what I've done here is basically the standard sump that comes with the system, but I've just kind of segregated all the filtration gadgets in one area, and basically we've got our overflow coming through, and I don't have any mechanical filters as such with filter socks. I've got a few carbon filters on, where it basically purifies the water. Phosphate reactors, which are basically GFO, running through on a fortnightly cycle to switch over to keep my phosphate in range. And then other than that, basically, yeah, thought about this idea to customize this open massive sump that this unit comes with, and took the partitions off. And I thought, why not just just use the quality of the water that comes in here and see if we can put corals in there. So I'm a icon fanatic, so I love icons. And then other LPSs like Trekkies, a few goniporas in here, a few scollies. And the best thing about these guys in a lagoon type natural environment, they love this sort of water. Not too much flow, subtle lighting, a bit of dirt coming through them, which they basically feed on. And the water flows through. They're nice and happy, as you can see. And then what I've done is basically the water to go back up into the display. I've just pushed through my skimmer, which is a underrated skimmer. It's rated for a 500 liter, but it's a Tunzi skimmer. It does the job. I'm happy with that. It pulls out the extra bioload that I'm putting into the tank. It's stuck right at the back there where my retain is, and pretty much that's what it is. I mean, just got a Gen 1 running in here, which is enough lightning for these LPSs. But yeah, I'm just literally keeping it very simple, and it's working. So put it this way. Yeah, so the next part is just to talk a little bit about my hardware. So it starts off with the monitoring. I've got a IPX monitoring system in here, just keeps in check, or gives me peace of mind to make sure the four main parameters are looked upon, whether I'm at work or on holiday. So we're looking at salinity, pH, temperature, and ORP. So yeah, that's basically me with my monitoring. Then comes basically dowsing, so basically fueling in the tank with the base essentials, and I'm on a 3-part dosing schedule with using the Ecoforest bowling method. So calcium, meg with mineral salt, and KH or alk. Equal dosing, given the water volume and the amount of animals I've got in here. I'm on about a 300 ml per 24 hours dosing schedule, which keeps everything stable and within the range that I need them to be. Other than that, a simple auto top up, which is pretty standard with the unit, which takes care of making sure the water or the salinity is kept in the range. And yeah, but that's it for dosing. Just to take you through with my second setup. So this was the second tank I was talking about. Again, a Red Sea series tank. It's an old system in terms of the Max series they used to make about 10 years ago. It's actually a sumpless system, so it does not have a sump. So basically we've got a partition in the back whereby they've got all the gadgets in there. The nano skimmer, Red Sea skimmer. We've got a bit of filtration going in there with carbon and GFO gain. And yeah, so it just basically water goes back in and then pumps back through after it's filtered through. The tank itself, it's predominantly a Zoa tank. So I used to collect a lot of Zoa frags, and what I've done is kind of just dumped them in here, and they've started to really grow into each other, and it's kind of become a Zoa garden. And then you've got a few anemones in there, a green bubble tip, a rose bubble tip anemone as well, a few softies like gorgonians, some toshas, and then a few mushrooms of all times. I've recently started collecting back the Florida Ricordia mushrooms, a few elegants, very little fish stock in here in terms of just minimize the bioload. But other than that, yeah, it's a pretty small system, and very little maintenance, to be honest, in terms of keeping things going. Lighting, just somehow thought I'd try these OFX system lights that have come out in the market. So just got my hands onto the Gen 2 OFX systems. It looks pretty decent. It's only running at about 20%, which is keeping the Zoas and all the other soft balls happy. But yeah, and this one's got sand, so it's a bit of a natural look around how a lagoon would look like. But just to sum it up, there's not much in this, no filtration as such, a little bit of dosing, just normal food, and yeah, the rest is basically for you guys to watch.
Well guys, there you have it. We've just been through the two tanks, the LPS and the SPS tanks. Shakil, thank you once again for letting us have a look at your awesome tanks, and I'm sure the viewers are going to absolutely love what they see. And yeah, we look forward to visiting at a later date again to see how the corals are progressing and giving some further feedback to the viewers. So once again, thank you very much for your time.
No worries, Nick. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys out there enjoy it and get some valuables out of it. As I said, I've trialed it quite a lot, but these days it's pretty simple for me, and it's working, and everything's happy. So yeah, enjoy the videos.
Once again, guys, thank you. Please hit the subscribe button, and we'd love to have you on board, and we'll see you soon.